The industry has officially been thrown into chaos, and it all started with one word. Warning, Remy Ma, the undisputed queen of Bronx fire, has just sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community by dropping a message so raw, so unfiltered, that even her closest fans are left speechless. She isn't rapping. She isn't battling. She's publicly threatening Claressa. Shields with a line that felt less like advice and more like a dagger straight to the heart. Stay away from my husband Papoose, or you'll regret it. Why would Remy snap like this? Why would she aim her fury at the world champion Claressa, a woman who fights with her fists, not her words? Well, brace yourself, because the dirty truth isn't just about Claressa's ex. No, what leaked out in private messages and whispered phone calls suggest that this so-called dirty secret connects Claressa's past too. Remy's present in ways nobody was prepared for. Imagine seeing receipts that hint at late-night calls, emotional confessions, and a shocking admission. That ties Claressa's messy breakup to Papoose himself. Fans are losing their minds. Insiders are whispering. And the industry knows one thing for sure. This isn't the kind of warning you ignore. And if you think this drama ends here, oh no. This is just the opening round. The story doesn't begin with the warning. No, it starts long before that, buried in years of tension, private whispers, and a history of messy entanglements that were bound to explode. To truly understand why Remy Ma would even feel threatened enough to snap at Claressa Shields, you need to peel back the layers of their past. A past that has been brewing with jealousy, loyalty tests, and dangerous overlaps between hip-hop and sports culture. Let's start with Remy Ma and Papoose. For years, they've been hailed as the hip-hop power couple. When Papoose stood by Remy during her 6-year prison sentence, the world labeled him the poster child of loyalty. Fans idolized their marriage, magazines plastered them as #couple goals, and interviews painted them as untouchable. But insiders always whispered that behind the smiles, there was tension, that Remy's fiery temper and Papoose's quiet ways masked cracks no one dared to speak about. Now, Claressa Shields, the undefeated boxing champion, known as the GWOAT greatest woman of all time. Bold, unapologetic, and sharp with her words, Claressa never bowed to anyone, inside or outside the ring. Her rise to fame wasn't just about titles. It was about breaking barriers, demanding respect, and calling out anyone who tried to play her. But with fame came enemies. And one of those enemies happened to be someone very close to Remy. Here's where the story gets dark. Claressa's ex, a figure she tried to keep away from the spotlight, has now been dragged into the mess. According to leaked screenshots, this ex allegedly carried secrets about Claressa's personal life, her emotional vulnerabilities, and even late-night conversations that hinted she once confided in Papoose when things in her relationship spiraled out of control. Imagine the bombshell. Text messages where Claressa's ex claims, "She used to call Papoose when she felt lost. I knew something was off." Whether these messages are real or fabricated doesn't matter, because once they hit the blogs, the damage was instant. Twitter caught fire. Instagram pages with millions of followers began posting receipts. TikTok creators stitched together theories, creating timelines that made it seem like Claressa and Papoose's paths crossed far more often than the public realized. And just like that, Remy Ma was dragged into a storm. She didn't start, but she sure as hell finished. But let's rewind a little. Why does Remy feel Claressa is such a threat? On the surface, Claressa is younger, fiercely independent, and has the kind of mainstream attention that even Remy has struggled to maintain in recent years. Boxing wins, brand deals, magazine covers, Claressa is everywhere. Some fans began drawing dangerous comparisons. Claressa and Papoose have more chemistry on stage interviews than Remy and Papoose at home. That was enough to ignite insecurities that had been quietly simmering under the surface. Now, picture this. Remy scrolling late at night, seeing Claressa and Papoose's names being thrown together in online conversations. Suddenly, a leaked secret from Claressa's ex confirms the nightmare. Not proof of an affair, but just enough smoke to convince the world there might be fire. That's when Remy snapped. Her warning wasn't whispered. It wasn't subtle, according to an insider who claims to have been present during a heated phone call. Remy's exact words were chilling. "I've been silent long enough. If Claressa thinks she's going to play games with Papoose the way she played games with her ex, she's mistaken. Stay away. Don't test me." Those words quickly leaked out and spread like wildfire. Within hours, hip-hop blogs, gossip pages, and even mainstream sports outlets were reporting it as if it were fact. Fans were divided. Some defended Remy, saying she was protecting her marriage. Others dragged her, claiming she was insecure and threatened by Claressa's success. And what about Papoose? It's the man at the center of it all. Insiders say he's been unusually quiet. He hasn't posted, hasn't commented, hasn't defended anyone. His silence is fueling speculation even more. One anonymous industry figure told a gossip outlet, "Papoose is playing chess. He knows any move he makes will either betray his wife or destroy his reputation. He's stuck, and he knows it." But here's where things get even messier. Claressa herself hasn't stayed silent. Sources close to her say she feels betrayed and blindsided by Remy's warning. In private, she allegedly told a friend, "I respected that woman. I never wanted Papoose like that. But if she keeps coming for me, I'll expose what I know." What could Claressa possibly expose? What does she know that has Remy this shaken and Papoose hiding in silence? This is where the tension transforms into a ticking time bomb. Because if Claressa decides to fight back, she's not just stepping into the ring, she's stepping into Remy's world, where reputations are destroyed with words, not punches, and that's when the first twist drops. The moment the leaked secret surfaced, the industry knew this wasn't just another rumor. This was the kind of scandal that could shatter reputations and burn bridges forever. And at the center of it, a messy tangle between Remy Ma, her husband, Papoose, and Claressa Shields. The boxing champion who never backs down from a fight. The dirty secret didn't drop quietly. It came crashing out in the form of screenshots allegedly from Claressa's ex, filled with accusations, private confessions, and late-night call logs that painted a story more dangerous than anyone expected. According to these so-called receipts, Claressa's ex claimed, "She used to lean on Papoose more than me. Whenever we fought, she called him. I knew there was something deeper, but nobody wanted to believe me." Now the truth's coming out. Imagine the shockwave that's sent across social media. Fans who once believed in the loyalty and love story of Remy and Papoose suddenly began asking ugly questions. Was Papoose as faithful as he portrayed himself? Did Claressa cross a line she swore she never would? Or worse, was this all part of a bigger betrayal orchestrated behind closed doors? Twitter didn't waste a second. The hashtags #RemyVs, CLARESSA, and #PAPOOSE exposed shots straight to the top within hours. TikTok creators dissected the timeline, freezing frames of interviews where Claressa and Papoose stood next to each other, zooming in on hand gestures, body language, and subtle smiles, insisting there had been chemistry all along. But that wasn't all. A viral TikTok claimed to have leaked audio, muffled but chilling, allegedly of Claressa's ex speaking on a private call. The voice says, "She told me once Papoose gets me in ways you never could. That was the night I knew it was over between us. Authentic or not, it didn't matter." The audio spread like wildfire, and fans took it as confirmation. Suddenly, the perfect couple image of Remy and Papoose was cracking, and Claressa was being framed as the catalyst. Now, let's step inside the private circle. According to one insider who claims to be close to Remy, the warning she gave Claressa wasn't just a casual statement. It was delivered during a heated phone call after Remy was shown the screenshots by a friend. The insider described Remy's voice as pure venom, saying, "Remy said, I built this family from the ground up. Nobody's going to disrespect me, especially not some boxer who thinks she can take my place. This wasn't just a warning, it was a declaration of war." Meanwhile, Papoose himself was reportedly blindsided. According to a producer who works closely with him, Papoose has been pacing in silence, refusing to go public, but privately telling people, "If I defend Claressa, I lose my wife. If I defend Remy, I hurt a friend. Either way, I'm ruined." And then came the first big twist, something nobody saw coming. A new batch of leaked DMs began circulating on Reddit and gossip blogs, allegedly between Claressa and Papoose himself. The messages were blurry, unverified, but damning. Enough to throw gasoline on the fire. One of them read, "Claressa, you know, I only call because you give me advice nobody else can. Papoose, you're strong, but even the strongest needs someone to understand them." Fans immediately went wild. Were these real? Were they doctored? Either way, the damage was unstoppable. Even neutral fans started questioning how innocent Claressa and Papoose's relationship really was. Remy, on the other hand, wasn't about to sit back and let speculation take over. According to an alleged insider leak, she exploded on a private Zoom call with close friends, screaming, "If this woman doesn't clear my husband's name, I'll clear it myself, and she won't like how I do it." Now pause for a moment and think about the stakes here. Claressa Shields isn't just any celebrity, she's a global sports icon with endorsements, sponsorships, and a massive fan base. Remy Ma isn't just a rapper, she's a legend with deep roots in hip-hop and a reputation for being feared as much as she is respected. The collision of these two powerful women wasn't just about jealousy. It was about pride, status, and survival in industries where image is everything. But the real gut punch came when Claressa herself allegedly clapped back. A private voice note reportedly leaked from someone in her camp had Claressa saying, "Remy, better watch how she talks about me. I respected her, but if she keeps dragging me, I'll let the world know about her own secrets." Papoose isn't the only one with history. That single line detonated like a bomb. What secrets was Claressa hinting at? Did Remy have skeletons of her own? The speculation was endless. Industry insiders began chiming in too. A well-known podcast host hinted live on air, "Trust me, this isn't the full story. If y'all think Claressa's the only one with dirt, wait until you see what's about to leak about Remy." And just like that, the narrative flipped. Suddenly, fans weren't just looking at Claressa, they were side-eyeing Remy, wondering if her rage was really about Claressa or about protecting her own reputation from being exposed. The cliffhanger was brutal. Two powerful women, one loyal but silent husband, and an ex-lover stirring the pot with dirty secrets that might not even be real, yet believable enough to break the internet. And just when it seemed like the worst had been revealed, another shocking reveal was waiting in the shadows. If you thought the drama had reached its peak, you were dead wrong. Because the moment the alleged DMZ between Claressa and Papoose started trending, things didn't cool down, they escalated into a full-scale war that no one saw coming. The blogs couldn't post fast enough. Every major gossip outlet plastered screenshots across their headlines, spinning narratives that painted Papoose as a man torn between two worlds: loyalty to his wife and the dangerous allure of Claressa's emotional confessions. But the biggest shock wasn't the blogs, it was the reaction from other celebrities within hours. Cardi B jumped into the conversation with a cryptic tweet, "Sometimes when you insecure, you see things that ain't there." Fans immediately took it as shade towards Remy Ma. The replies exploded. Is Cardi low-key defending Claressa? Nah, she's calling Remy insecure. The tension between Cardi and Remy had always been rumored, but now fans were convinced. Cardi was taking sides. Then Fat Joe, Remy's longtime brother-in-arms, added fuel by posting on Instagram Live. Listen, people love to talk, but Remy's like family. It's going to protect hers at all costs. Don't test her. Boom. In one night. Hip-hop was split into factions, but then came the shocking reveal that flipped the entire narrative on its head. A viral Twitter thread began spreading with the headline, "Papoose been hiding something all along." Inside the thread were blurry images of what appeared to be Papoose at a hotel lobby, not with Claressa, not with Remy, but with a mystery woman. The account claimed the photos were from months ago, but the timing lined up perfectly with when Claressa's ex said she felt betrayed. The comments were brutal. So this whole time, Remy blaming Claressa, but it's Papoose who might be playing both sides. That's why he's so quiet. Guilt eats louder than words. Imagine Remy out here threatening Claressa while her man's sneaking around with someone else. Whether the photos were real or doctored didn't matter. Overnight, the story shifted from Remy versus Claressa to a new headline. Is Papoose the real villain? Claressa herself fanned the flames by posting a cryptic Instagram story with nothing but a boxing glove emoji and a broken heart. Fans interpreted it instantly. She's ready to fight back, but not in the ring. Meanwhile, Remy Ma's fury reached another level. According to a source who claims to have been at a private studio session, she broke down in tears before screaming at her team, "If these people think they can embarrass me, they got me twisted. Claressa, Papoose, all of them. I'll burn it all down before I let them make a fool out of me." The insider said the room went silent because nobody had ever seen Remy so unhinged. But here's where it got worse. A gossip blog dropped a leaked group chat allegedly involving Claressa, her ex, and a mutual friend. In the messages, Claressa allegedly said, "Remy acting like she's untouchable. But I know things about her and Papoose that would destroy them. She better pray I stay quiet." Fans went into overdrive. What could Claressa possibly know? Did Remy and Papoose have skeletons in their closet darker than anyone imagined? And then, as if the universe wanted more chaos, a fake but highly convincing voice recording surfaced online. In it, a woman sounding eerily like Claressa says, "Remy should worry about who her husband's really with. I ain't the one." Within minutes, the audio had racked up over 1 million plays on Twitter. TikTok users turned it into sound bites, lip-syncing the words as if they were lines from a movie. The feud wasn't just gossip anymore, it was pop. Culture, wildfire. The industry was now officially divided. Rappers, boxers, influencers, everyone had an opinion. One rapper went on Instagram Live and boldly declared, "This ain't about Claressa or Remy. This is about the image of Papoose. If this man ain't careful, he's gonna lose it all." Even sports commentators jumped in, with one ESPN analyst joking, "Claressa's got enough titles. She doesn't need Papoose too." It's the memes, the reactions, the chaos. And just when you thought things couldn't possibly escalate any further, the next twist hit harder than a knockout punch. The internet didn't just react, it erupted. By the time morning came, every corner of social media was buzzing with the scandal. TikTokers were crying. Twitter Spaces were filling with thousands of listeners debating the mess. And Instagram Lives were turning into virtual boxing matches between Remy's fans and Claressa's diehard supporters. One fan posted, "Remy Ma ain't insecure. She's protecting what's hers. Claressa should have kept her distance. Point blank." Seconds later, another clapped back. "Nah, Remy's washed. Claressa's the future. She's being targeted because she's winning too much. This is jealousy, not loyalty." That single comment chain spiraled into a 5,000 reply war. Screenshots of fans calling each other names. Team Remy versus Team Claressa trended on TikTok with the caption, "Choose your fighter." YouTube drama channels jumped on it too, each one trying to break down the timeline like detectives solving a crime. One viral video titled "The Real Truth Behind Remy, Claressa and Papoose: What They're Not Telling You" hit 500,000 views in 6 hours. But the most explosive reaction didn't come from fans. It came from fellow celebrities. Meek Mill tweeted in the middle of the night, "Papoose, my guy, but these rumors looking crazy. If you know, you know." Within seconds, fans were screaming, "Is Meek confirming the affair? He knows something." His tweet alone sent the rumor mill into overdrive. Then Nicki Minaj's name got dragged in. Fans resurfaced an old clip of Nicki shading Remy, splicing it with current headlines to suggest Nicki was laughing behind the scenes. A fan edit went viral on Twitter captioned, "Nicki sipping tea while Remy fights ghosts." Meanwhile, boxing legends began weighing in. Floyd Mayweather posted a smirking selfie with the caption, "Sometimes the biggest fights ain't in the ring." Fans instantly tagged Claressa, claiming he was siding with her. And if that wasn't enough chaos, a fake TMZ alert started circulating, claiming Papoose spotted leaving hotel with mystery woman. Not Claressa, not Remy. It turned out to be unverified, but it didn't matter. Screenshots of the fake headline alone pulled millions of impressions. Further muddying the waters, Remy's fans weren't staying quiet either. Hashtags like #ProtectRemy and #StandByYourQueen began trending, with emotional fan edits showing clips of her and Papoose over the years, spliced with sad music and crying emojis. One edit hit 3 million views on TikTok with the heartbreaking caption, "She stood by him, now she's fighting everyone." But Claressa's fanbase wasn't backing down. They clapped back with the hashtag "Let's CLARESSA live," pointing out her undefeated boxing record and accusing Remy of trying to ruin another black woman's career out of insecurity. One viral post read, "Claressa breaks barriers every day, but y'all want to reduce her to being blamed for another man's choices. Be serious." And the fight didn't stop there. A massive Twitter space titled "Remy versus Claressa, Who's Really at Fault?" pulled in over 20,000 live listeners. Inside, fans screamed at each other, influencers gave heated takes, and at one point, someone claiming to be close to Papoose joined and hinted that the truth is worse than y'all think. That single line sent the entire space into meltdown. Even mainstream media couldn't resist. ESPN ran a segment titled, "When Sports Meets Scandal, Claressa Shields in the Middle of Hip-Hop Feud." The host smirked as he said, "Looks like Claressa has a bigger fight outside the ring than inside it." Meanwhile, gossip blogs released blind items hinting that Claressa wasn't the only woman in Papoose's orbit. Some even suggested Remy's meltdown might have been triggered by years of suspicion. It's finally boiling over. The narrative became a carousel. One day, Remy was the victim. The next day, Claressa was the scapegoat. And by nightfall, Papoose was the villain. Nobody knew who to believe, but everyone knew one thing. This was the most addictive scandal in years. And then came the line that sent fans into hysteria. During an Instagram live Q&A, a fan asked Claressa point blank, "Did you ever mess with Papoose?" Claressa laughed, then leaned forward and whispered, "I'll tell you what, Remy, better hope I don't say what I know." The clip went viral instantly, millions of views in hours. Fans flooded the comments. "What does she know? Drop the receipts, Claressa. Remy's shaking right now." It wasn't just fans feeding into the frenzy. Industry insiders began fueling the fire too. One anonymous DJ told the Shade Room, "This isn't fake beef. Something real happened, and everyone in New York knows it. They just ain't ready to admit it." The reactions weren't just divisive, they were destructive. Claressa's sponsorships started trending as people tagged her brand partners demanding answers. Remy's name became a meme, with TikToks mocking her for being threatened by a boxer and Papoose. He became the silent center of a hurricane, with fans begging him to pick a side before everything collapsed. And just when it seemed like the drama couldn't get any more toxic, Another whisper started crawling its way through the blogs. A whisper that would drag the story into even darker territory. Just when the dust seemed like it might settle, the scandal detonated again, this time with a twist so sinister that fans are convinced we haven't even scratched the surface of the truth. Late one night, a new exclusive leak hit the internet, not from Claressa, not from Remy, and not even from Papoose. This time, it came from a mysterious, anonymous account claiming to be part of the inner circle of Remy's camp. The account posted a single chilling message. If Remy keeps blaming Claressa, then the truth about HER's secret nights will come out. Don't test us. Attached was a blurred image of what appeared to be Remy at a dimly lit lounge, sitting far too close to a man who was definitely not Papoose. The picture was grainy, the identity unclear. But the implication was devastating. Within minutes, Twitter exploded. Wait, so Remy accusing Claressa the whole time while she hiding her own secret? This just flipped the whole story upside down. No wonder she's so pressed. She's projecting her own guilt. Fans who had been Team Remy suddenly switched sides. Others argued the photo was fake, a smear campaign to protect Papoose. But the more people argued, the bigger the story grew. And that's when Claressa herself poured gasoline on the fire. In a cryptic midnight tweet, she wrote, "Y'all really want me to keep quiet? Or should I drop the real receipts about Remy?" The tweet racked up 250,000 likes in hours. Thousands of fans begged her to drop the files, while others warned that if she did, she'd be ending Remy's career permanently. The suspense was unbearable. Was Claressa bluffing? Or did she really have something explosive in her back pocket? Meanwhile, industry insiders began whispering that Claressa wasn't lying. One gossip blog claimed that Claressa's ex had already passed along evidence recordings, texts, even alleged financial transactions proving that Remy had been hiding secrets of her own. If true, it meant this wasn't just about Papoose or Claressa. It meant the entire loyalty fairy tale of Remy and Papoose's marriage was a carefully crafted illusion. Fans were in meltdown mode. TikTokers stitched videos of old Remy interviews where she bragged about loyalty, now overlaying them with clown music and captions like, "So much for a ride or die." On the flip side, Remy's defenders insisted she was being set up, that Claressa and her ex were working together to take her down, and Papoose, still silent, no tweets, no posts, no denials. His silence was louder than words, and fans began speculating. He knows something's coming. He's preparing for the bomb to drop. Silence equals guilt.